Okay, I'm going to do a demo of, continue on with the Star Trek demo. So in the last one, we got it to do arm the phasers and what arm the phasers. In this one, I want to give commands to the crew. I want to say like Spock, arm the or scan the surface for life. Sulu, arm the phasers. Scotty, I need more power. So I want to be able to, direct the commands at people. So we'll try doing something like that with this one. Yeah, so maybe we'll get, so instead of saying, so we'll say like, Spock, arm the photon torpedoes. And so what I'm going to do is when the word Spock says, I'm going to put something in the global objects that somehow indicate the word that Spock was just mentioned. And then when we process arm the photon torpedoes, we can give the command to Spock instead of just having it run right away. Okay, so we'll start with the new word Spock. We'll make a crew member concept or something like that. So I have to define the operator. So in this case, it's kind of trivial because it just appears in the sentence. Well, not in the sentence, in the phrase Spock. Okay, so this defines the operator. It's an operator that takes no args. So now we define the bridge. We're just going to make it like the other ones where you just do nothing really, except move the operator ID to the next level. So let's give that a run, see what that does. Spock. I'll fix it later so Sulu does that. Oh, I forgot to define the word. So I didn't map the word Spock to the operator crew member. So we'll just do that. That's kind of like Sally, I guess. Sally, and we'll do that. Zippity zap. Spock. We'll just make it be, ID of the user is Spock. I mean, I could give it a number you don't remember, but let's just call it Spock because that's easier. Oh, yeah, switch it from person concept to, what was it again? Yeah. That, okay, let's give that a run. Okay, so now we got an output, so we get a context with Spock mentioned. Yeah, so now let's put in something in our data structures we're using to keep track of who's been mentioned. And then we can use that in the semantics for arm the photon torpedoes to get Spock to do it. So we'll set up a semantics for crew member. Then it's generic. And what can we do? So we'll just push the crew member on the global mentions. So they're mentioned Spock, shove it on the mentions, then we'll pull it off later. This is kind of like the way I implemented it in the site demos. Yeah, let's see what he does. Do it! Where did we want to see? The mentions. Yeah, so Spock's in the mentions. Yeah, let's dump out the mentions so we can see Spock in there. Mentions. Make sure the semantics worked. Not seeing it. Yeah, there. Spock. Yeah, what should we do next? Let me think. Yeah, let's work on getting the semantics for arm the photon torpedoes to use Spock as the agent instead of just doing the command arm the photon torpedoes right away. There, so now we got what we got before, except now we have a context with Spock in it and a context with arm in it. Oh, doesn't have the generator set up, so let's fix up a generator so Spock prints out nice. We'll just make it general, so I'll use crew member as the marker, and yeah, it has a word in it. So I'll just use whatever words the user used from the sentence. That's nice and easy. Give that a run. Okay, so now the generators have Spock and arm the photon torpedoes as the paraphrases. So now what we want to do is get that arm command to go into a Spock actor that can perform it. So we'll just make some characters in our made up data structure. Spock can be a character, and I don't know, name, we'll have name Spock, and to do. So the to do, we can have a to do, actions to do. Let's have to do. To do, so then there can be a list of actions Spock's going to do. And what we're going to do is when the user says Spock, arm the photon torpedoes, we'll shove arm the photon torpedoes into the to-do list for Spock, and then in the game loop, the Spock character can start doing the to-dos. So let's just print out what's in the global for this thing. And we should see the to-do in the Spock thing. Not there. What? Da 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 da. Oh, I didn't do it yet. Let's do it. Right. So if Spock, if there's any mentions in our mention array, we'll give those actors whatever the action is the user said. Probably right. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so that we'll have the old one still there. So if there's no one mentioned, it'll just do the command right away, like we saw in part 1. And otherwise, it'll pick whoever's in the mentions, and it will get those characters to do the command. Okay, so if there are mentions, if the length is greater than 0, then we'll just find the character that's been mentioned. In the future, I'll make it work so you can say, Spock, Sulu, go to the planet or whatever. Let's just get this working now. We can always add more details later. So I'm just going to pick out the 0th mention. Probably should delete it after I use it. Anyway, I'll fill in more details later on. So we're going to just add whatever this action is to the character's to-do list. And then the future game loop, the character can actually run it. Ooh, we could also do something cool like say, hey, Spock, what are you doing? And then Spock could say what he's doing. That'd be cool. I'm not going to do that this time. Let's just get this going. And so we should see in the to-do array, well, I can't see the array, so that sucks. So let's print it out so we can see it. Who wants to see that stupid object thing? Boring. And we should see it now. No, it's not there. Why is it not there? Why is it not there? Try again. Still not there. Why is it not there? We should see the cool to-do array have stuff in it. What do I do? All right, let's try this. Not seeing what's wrong. It's probably something lame. So let's do this. Maybe it doesn't work with nesting. I don't know. No, still not there. Why is it not there? Focus. Find your inner debugger. Oh, it's because I was printing it off up there. Okay, so I was printing the wrong spot. So anyway, you can see now the to-do list has the action that we wanted Spock to perform. I knew it was something lame. Yeah, so in a future one, we'll get the Spock to actually perform that action. I've just realized that I want to update the SDK, like the NPM SDK, so that you can give it a context and it'll just run the semantics and the generators on the context without having to give it a sentence. Then in the future, what I can do is I'll write a game loop so we can say, Spock, arm the photon torpedoes, and that'll be one loop. And then in the next loop, Spock can go through his list of actions and use the SDK to run the entodicton semantics and generator to actually do the arming of the photon torpedoes. I have to fix the SDK to do that, so I'm going to stop here and I'll come back once I fix that. But the demo's still good. I'm not changing.